everybody, and welcome back to a new episode. We are in my podcast studio, and if you are watching the video version, you would notice that I finally have my beautiful curtains in. So if you're in the behind the scenes bubble, I will give you guys a little bit of a close up of them, but I am so happy with them. They're like this sexy, I almost want to say like a Chanel vibe plaid. Like you could have it on a handbag. It's quite divine. So that's what's happening. I still need to get other things done in here so that one day shortly I could do podcast interviews in this space in person with the other person, which would be such a vibe. But currently, the people that occupy the other chair, well, not the people, are Butter and Jelly. Well, actually, Jelly's always with me right here. Butter's on the other side. Anyway, first things first, today's episode, it is so fucking good, the notes that I've written, that I'm actually going to put it in the Feminine CEO and in MMM level 2. So I wrote this, I guess I wrote this module and then I've turned it into, I haven't turned it into a podcast episode. I've just decided that I'm going to make this a bonus module in those programs and give it to you guys on the podcast, because I just feel like in the middle of the year, things can start to feel a little bit stagnant. At the beginning of the year, we have all this new year, new energy vibe. At the end of the year, it's like, oh my God, like we got to jam those manifestations in that I haven't achieved this year, blah, blah, blah. And so there's different energy at the beginning and at the end of the year. But then in the middle of the year, a lot of us can feel stagnant. I mean, hello, European summers, that's always a vibe. But when it comes to our manifestations, sometimes we can forget what we need to do, and we forget what we need to put behind the manifestation and the action that is required to be taken in order for us to achieve what it is that we want. So that is what we are jamming with today. So really what I want you guys to absorb from today's podcast is how you can operate at a higher vibrational frequency so that you are in this constant state of abundance, manifestation, etc. And actually this month I've been running a really epic manifestation challenge through emails, and the whole concept of this manifestation challenge has been around integrating your manifestation practice into your everyday life. So in the episode that I recently did about the stretch phase that people can go through, which was so fucking good, it was like a therapy session for thyself. If you haven't listened to that episode, I would highly recommend that you do so. But anyway, nonetheless, in that episode, I was kind of giving you guys some pointers on really making manifestation something that you just do all the time. Because I find personally at least, oh, hi Jelly. I find personally at least that I do not have the time to sit down and do a manifestation practice all the time. And so like with all of my work, my motto is, if you cannot integrate it into your life, there's no point even starting with it, or there's no point even going hardcore for a week, because it's not going to stick. And then you think that you're a failure. Like, you set yourself up for failure when you try and get into a practice or into a habit that just isn't sustainable. And the reason why I say you set yourself up for failure is because you then spend so much time being like, I want to be able to do that habit that I did for a week because it felt so good, but I can't. You then beat yourself up. You think that you're not good enough. You think there's something wrong with your life, etc., etc. And you then no longer have the habit being something that is expansive and motivating and powerful. The habit actually becomes something that has the opposite. There's a dichotomy of the habit, right? And the opposite of the habit then is scarcity, is not enoughness, is failure. And so then the intention of the habit being something motivating doesn't actually happen. The opposite happens, right? So in little moments in your life, can you start to shift into an abundant state? Can you change your state so that you can bring yourself back to your core? And even just an example, some of you would know, I got my first car and my dream car, a Range Rover, the new one. It's fucking huge. It's so beautiful. It's so classic. And I am quite literally obsessed with it. And I do need to write an email that will be, well, actually, I've already written the email. The email about how I manifested this is coming out in maybe 2 weeks' time. So, really important. I've got this fucking hair. Like, you know, when you have a hair just like on, I got it. I got it. I got my hair. I got the hair. Okay. The email is coming out in like 2 weeks' time about how I manifested this because two things. One, it came faster than I thought, but also slower than I thought. And then secondly, it wasn't actually the car that I was manifesting. It was a Range Rover. I was manifesting that, but it was different. So I'm going to go through all of that and then the kind of process of it and whatnot in an email. And I'll probably also do a podcast slash YouTube video on it as well. And I'll probably do it in the car just for like the extra vibes, to be honest. But speaking of the car, so one of the ways that's really easy to drop back into abundance is when you are in the car. The car is such I think a car can be a vortex for expansion because it is just you. You are driving the vehicle. It's like a metaphor. You know where you're going and you're trusting Google Maps without even know that you're trusting it, but you are trusting Google Maps to take you to that place. Like there isn't, when you type in an address to Google Maps, you don't think to yourself, does it know where it's going? Like, are we sure this is the right route? Like, are we going to end up just driving off a fucking cliff? Like, you don't think about those things when you type the address into Google Maps. You just drive the vehicle and you go. And it's kind of the same thing in terms of how you want to be manifesting. You set the intention, you know the destination, and then you trust yourself to drive yourself to there. The universe is like the Google Maps. The universe is going to guide you there, but can you trust in its direction? Can you listen to its direction? And then can you actually turn left or right when it says to turn left or right? Because if you don't turn left when it says to turn left, you're then going to go in the wrong direction. Now, it will reroute you just like Google Maps will reroute you. The universe will reroute you, but it might take an extra 7 minutes to get to the final destination. So the reason why I love like using a car as a vortex to manifest is one, it's like a metaphor for manifestation and for trust, but also it's you, yourself, your energy, and your control of knowing where you're going and driving that car all in one space. You can have the fucking music blaring. You can be screaming. You can be doing whatever you want to be doing. And guess what? Nobody can tell you otherwise because nobody else is in the fucking car with you. Obviously, unless someone else is in the car with you. But I'm saying this is for when you are in the car alone. The person next to you in the other lane might look at you and be like, this chick is fucking weird. But they're not going to get out of the car, smash your window and be like, you're a weirdo. I mean, maybe they would, but the chance that happening is so fucking rare, right? The best is probably just going to look at you and be like, whatever. But then you're going to stay in whatever energy that you're going to stay in because you're not going to let some random in the lane next to you disrupt where you want to go and how you want to feel. So the car is such an epic place for you to tap back into your core energy, to change your frequency, and to feel the way that you want to feel. So something that I do in the car, as an example, is one of the walking tracks, the walking meditations. Well, it's more like a high vibe meditation. It's not really like a meditation. It's not calming, but it's really high vibe. One of the walking ones, there's 2 walking ones on my website. I will play them in the car and I am fucking like screaming back to the track in the car. So when the track is like, claim what it is that you want or something or other, I'm like screaming out loud what it is that I'm manifesting in my life. I'm not joking, quite literally screaming out loud. Like you possibly could actually hear it outside the car, but I'm going for it because I am not going to be quiet with my manifestations because then it's like, are you ashamed of them? Do you not want them that badly? Do you think it's weird that you're just shouting out what it is that you want to the universe? The universe wants you to fucking claim what it is that you want. And most importantly, you need to claim what it is that you want so that your energy is actually behind what it is that you want. If you're like, oh yeah, I would love to make $10,000 a month so that I can start to save for my dream house, or so that I can, send my daughter to this extracurricular activity. And you're like, that would be really nice. Bow bow. Like, I don't believe you. Like, I'm sorry, but I do not believe you. You do not want it that badly. You're like, oh yeah, that would be cute. That would be nice. No, no, no. You need to be so all in that you are like sweating, because the way in which that you are screaming this from the top of your lungs and moving your body as you're screaming this, it's a workout. That is the kind of energy that you want to be in when you are claiming what it is that you want to manifest. I'm just quickly interrupting the episode, ladies and gentlemen, to remind you that I have opened up something new for you. So I've opened up a mini one-on-one package, which is a 2-session one-on-one package with me. You also get 2 weeks of text message, voice message support as well. And this is perfect for you if you are not yet ready to invest in a longer term commitment, but you still want to get some healing done. So, in these 2 weeks, you are going to feel like a huge weight has been lifted off your shoulders, and you really will feel like you are a huge step closer to being the dream version of yourself. I've helped women in these past mini one-on-ones break the cycle of binge eating. I've helped them to release a lot of resentment and anger so that they can come back to their feminine energy in their relationship. I've helped women in these situations to, no longer feel shame around past situations that have happened to them, to, no longer have bad PMS, to heal their PCOS, whatever it is. And so whatever you need to work on, maybe there's one little thing at the moment, or maybe there's 2 things, you're going to bring them to me for this mini one-on-one, and we'll just kind of break it down and make a really good action plan, the 2 of us, in a way that feels comfortable with you. And we will tackle as much as we can in those 2 sessions and in those 2 weeks. So I love this mini one-on-one package because it allows you to get a little bit of a taste of working with me and what my coaching is like and how I do my work with my clients. So whatever you need help with, whether it is energetic upgrades, whether it's, confidence, whether it's trauma, whether it's sexuality, whether it's business, money, boundaries, feminine embodiment, dating, relationships, whatever it is, I am here for you, and we will absolutely do it. So if you would like to book in one of these sessions, all you need to do is follow the link below and you will see all the details on my website page. I do want to just let you know that there may be a waiting period once you decide to join of up to 3 months. Obviously, we will do our best to get you in ASAP, but depending on the time of the year and when you book and what else I have going on, I just want to give you that little bit of a heads up. So if you haven't already claimed a space for yourself and you would like to, I would highly encourage you to do so, especially because there will be a little bit of a waiting period. So yeah, any questions about the mini one-on-one package, just let me know. Otherwise, I can't wait to get into the work with those of you that have already claimed a space for yourself. So I have the fucking walking track on in the car. I'm screaming back to myself because obviously it's me on the track, or I've got loud music going and I'm screaming out what it is that I want in the car. And, if I need to shift my state, if I've had a shitty day or if I'm pissed off about something or whatever it is, I will get in the car. And as I'm driving, I will allow myself to just vent out really, really loudly everything it is that I want to vent out. And then as I'm venting, I'll start to get to a place where I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Let it go. I just cannot. I'm not letting this ruin my energy. I'm shifting back into this. And I go and I go and I go until I'm literally saying out loud, like, I am in control of my life. I'm feeling fucking amazing. I'm choosing to feel amazing, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going until then I feel that new feeling in my body, right? So I let my car be literally a punching bag for whatever it is that I need to declare, vent out, scream out, shift into, because I am in the driver's seat and I'm driving to where I want to go, physically and metaphorically. It's just me, myself, and I. Nobody can hear me, and nobody can tell me to do otherwise as I am driving the car. Okay, so take that example and put it into your own car. If you don't have a car, if you live in New York City or you live in a big city where you do not have a car, because that's been me forever. This is my first car. If that's been you forever and you're like, okay, how do I do this, but not in a car because I don't have a car? Do it in the shower. Play loud music in your apartment or in your house and do it anyway. When you are on a walk, shout it from the rooftop. Where was I? the other day. Were we in Australia? Oh yeah, we were in Australia, and this is the other week when we were there, and we were on a hike at the Whitsundays, beautiful hike. And I'm hiking. My fiance was like, "Oh my God, you are such a freak." But I'm like, "No, babe, get behind it. Like, fucking back my energy." And I'm screaming my manifestations as we are hiking. And when we get to the very top, I'm screaming these manifestations out loud to the universe because it was the most fucking insane view. It was like we were in an Avatar movie. And of course, he's like, "Oh my God, you are a lunatic." But I'm like, "Yeah, well, watch, see what happens." And of course, manifestations have already started occurring, right? Like those manifestations have already started occurring. Point is that you can implement what I've just shared with you in so many other ways. You can fucking hire a rental car when you go to the next city that you're going to. I know it's really nice to be driven around. Like, I'm not anti that either, but there's something about driving your own car, blaring the fucking music, being in control of it, having this whole experience in this car that is completely different and such an energy. It's just different energy, right? Compared to being driven around. Being driven around is so nice, but like you can't really be screaming in the back of the car. I mean, you probably could. You can't really be screaming in the back of the car as somebody is driving you because they might think that you are going insane or like having a stroke or something, crazy. So hire a rental car, blare loud music, do it in the shower. Don't tell yourself, "Oh, I can't do this." Because then again, it's like, how badly do you want the fucking manifestation? Instead, use what I've told you, use this epic somatic way of locking into your manifestations and getting your body into the frequency that you need to get into. Yeah. Use that and do not then make an excuse of why you can't fucking do it. Because then you don't actually want what it is that you quote unquote want badly enough. Okay? We get a new chance every second. You don't need to wait until tomorrow. You can close your eyes right now and you can just focus on your breathing. If you are walking or driving right now, let's all close down our eyes. We're going to literally do this. Close down your eyes or focus on your breathing. And let's just focus on our breath. We don't need to be thinking about anything. What do you want to feel right now? Okay, what color is that feeling? Does this feeling move in a certain way? Like, do you have some kind of visual representation of how this feeling moves? Is it bright? If it's not bright, I want you to make it really bright. And then having this visual of this color, this movement, maybe there's a bit of a shape to it, this brightness of this feeling. I want you to try and visualize bringing this into your body. Bring this into your body. Almost see it moving through your body, see the color in your body. Keeping that in your body. Think of the word that you want to feel. Think of the word that you want to feel. Okay, keeping that word that you want to feel, I want you to see it written in front of you. See the word written in front of you like it's in the sky. And I want you to say it over and over again. So let's say the word is wealthy. I want you to say it over and over again to try and bring that into your body. So looking at the word, seeing the word, wealthy, 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 wealthy. Keep going. Say it. And as you say it, start to get excited as you're saying it. So it's like wealthy, 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 wealthy. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Almost like you're having a fucking orgasm. Like you are coming to a climax. Seriously. Keep saying it. Keep saying it. As you're saying it, start to feel it in your body. Feel it in your body. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Okay, pause. feel it in your body. Okay. That is something that you guys can take and use every day to help you to shift into the feeling that you want to feel. In Magic Money Manifestation Level 2, there is even more tools, modalities, strategies, etc. that I use regularly to shift into those really abundant feelings so that I can be in that frequency to then obviously attract in what it is that I want. So if you are not on the wait list for the Men and Money bundle, please make sure that you get on it because it opens next week. It opens so like mid-June, sorry, depending when you listen to this. And if you are on the wait list, you get an extra discount. So the thing about the money bundle is there is already a discount for MMM level 2 and Be Love Not a Mother being combined. Now, both are also open individually. So if you don't want to get both, or if you already have one, you can then just buy the other one. But if you are on the wait list for the Men and Money bundle, you will be able to get an extra discount on the already discounted bundle price for just a few days. So you want to make sure that you are definitely on that wait list. So when you are wanting to break through ceilings, so for anyone that's like, okay, you say ceilings, Monica, what does a ceiling mean? A ceiling is when you feel like you have an upper limit. It's like this glass ceiling, right? And it's like other people can't see it. You can't physically see it, but it's there. You can fucking feel it. You feel like there is something blocking you from getting to that next level, and it's often holding you back, or you often feel like you are just stuck at this one point and you cannot break through it. So there's two questions to ask yourself when you are trying to break through a glass ceiling. One, so you want like insert manifestation, right? This is me like saying this to you. So you want insert whatever manifestation. What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? When you get this manifestation, what bad things could happen? Okay, that's the first question. The second question is, how would you like to experience money showing up and operating in your life? So if you could just decide, declare, claim right now how money operates in your life and with you, how would it do so? That's the next thing that I want you guys to journal on and to write down. They're really important questions to ask yourself because often the reason why we have these glass ceilings and we can't bust through the next level is two things. One, we actually don't want to for some reason. And then two, the other reason is we don't feel like we are in an environment that is like supporting us to bust through the glass ceiling. Sometimes you can take an action step that busts through the glass ceiling for you. I've used this example before. If you feel like you are really wanting to bust through a glass ceiling, and maybe you've never spent more than, let's just say, $5,000 on a program for yourself or on coaching, let's say, the thing to do to then bust through the glass ceiling would be to spend $20,000 or $10,000 or $15,000. The reason why is not because you're not trying to just throw money away, but because you need to do something that literally takes you through the glass ceiling and outside your comfort zone. If you keep operating within your comfort zone or the tiniest bit outside of it, you're not busting through the glass ceiling. If you do something that is literally going to rocket fuel you and shatter that fucking glass ceiling, then you've just made it a lot easier for yourself to bust through the glass ceiling because something else has busted you through. And now you just need to then stay in the safety of being in that new level. So for any of you that are really trying to bust through glass ceilings, is there anything intuitive that you really want to do for yourself, but it's quote unquote too much, or you're quote unquote not ready, or whatever it is that you're telling yourself? Go and do one of those things. Go and do that. I mean, I'm doing that with my book. I shared that with you guys on the stretching phase podcast, which we'll link in the description as well if you haven't listened to it. There are so many things that are happening right now in my life that is such a fucking stretch. And it's not comfortable. It's not easy. It's not, I've never spent this much money in my fucking life. but it's necessary to get me to the next level. The only way to get to the next level is to be uncomfortable. You cannot get to the next level. You cannot quantum leap by being comfortable, by doing things that are easy, because then you're playing in your comfort zone. And the only results that you get by playing in your comfort zones are comfort zone level results, which I know that you don't want. I know that you want quantum fucking results, not not comfort level results. Now, the law of assumption, which a lot of us have now heard as like lucky girl syndrome on social media, the law of assumption means that you need to just start assuming that things are going to work out for you, right? You need to claim it. You need to lock it in. You need to dance on it. You need to shout it from the rooftops, because it is so easy to get complacent with your manifestations. I mean, I'm guilty of it sometimes. It's very easy to get complacent with your practices and with your habits and with the energy that you do or frankly don't put behind what it is that you want. It's very, very easy. And so maybe you will have to go, maybe some of you have to go into a slump. I've had this before, where you have to sometimes go into a slump because something like that, going into a slump or going a little bit quote unquote backwards, is a requirement to make you realize that you need to keep up the vibes, to keep up the practices so that you can keep the life that you want to live, and so that you can continue to grow and stack those manifestations and continue to break through glass ceilings. Now, separate to just the law of assumption, you also need to, this is a really, really key thing, so listen to this. You also need to ensure that you are actually open to receiving the money that you want or the manifestation that you want. If your channel isn't clear, if your energy field is not clear, guess what? It's not going to come through. It's actually less about, do you want it? Because I know that you do want it, right? It's less about, do you actually want the manifestation? Because I know that you do want it, but you also, there are also reasons why you don't want it. You don't feel safe, etc., etc. We'll go through that in a second, and lots more in MMM too. So it's less about, do you actually want it? And it's more about, do you feel like you are deserving, like you are worthy, like it is safe to have it? A lot of us will block our own manifestations or our own next levels of various things for different reasons. Lack of safety. You actually like the drama being in your life. You want to stay the victim for like 1,000,001 different reasons, right? There's so many reasons to that. You want your partner to be more protective. So you are trying to like prove a point by, your business crumbling or something so that he will finally step up. Not really the way to go about it, right? But we do that. There can be so many different reasons as to why we block our next level coming through, right? It could be, for example, that another example could be, this is really common, you don't want your family to then ask you for money. You don't want to pay extra taxes. You don't know how to handle that amount of money. So many different reasons. And guess what? We then hold ourselves back because of reasons that ultimately we can actually move through, right? So for example, like the reason of, I don't know how to handle that much money. Okay, we'll learn how to handle that much money. And then guess what? You will be able to then attract in the thing. Or if it's, I'm afraid that that my family's going to ask for it. Okay, learn to draw boundaries so that wouldn't actually ever happen. Like they might ask you for it, but you're not going to do it. Right? When you can move through and invalidate the fears that you have, it becomes a lot easier in your life to continue to up level. But if you're going to continue to let fear be the driving reason as to why you don't up level, but you're also going to use the victim card as to why you can't do something, then guess what? Your life is going to stay exactly as it is, or it's going to go backwards. So all of you, this weekend, because I know, well, depending on when you're listening to this, it could be the weekend already. I want you to put in your calendar to do for 1 hour the work that I've shared with you guys today, right? I've shared this module from MMM level 2 and the Feminine CEO so that you can do this, but it's up to you to actually do it, right? So that you can do it. And when you do it, take a picture, make a whole fucking setup, get a cup of tea, wear a cute outfit, whatever you want to do, sit outside in the sun, make a whole cute setup, tag me in it or send it to me as a DM, whatever little picture, so that I can celebrate you, but also let me kind of almost hold you accountable, right? Send me a picture to help hold yourself accountable. Because these questions, these shifts, just literally carving out an hour on a weekend to sit with yourself and actually get clear on what you're wanting to call in, work through any blocks, journaling through any blocks that are actually the reason why you aren't calling it in. Don't underestimate the power of just giving yourself this time. I wouldn't be surprised if some of these manifestations then start occurring 24 hours later or less. I really, really wouldn't be, right? So sometimes the best question to ask yourself is why you don't want something. The whole idea of, quote unquote, stacking the cash, stacking your manifestations, whatever, it's basically where you are like, just to break down, all it's saying is you are stacking your manifestations one on top of the other, right? So there's two things, so that you're getting more and more and more. There's two things that are really, really important in order for you to actually get more and more and more and continue to up level in your life. Number one is, can you hold what you currently have? Does your nervous system have the capacity for that? And then number two is, have a reason to have more. If you don't have a reason as to why you want more, then more doesn't need to come into your life. You don't actually want it, right? You're not really wanting to receive it, open to receiving it, putting your energy behind it, right? Like, oh, that'd be cute to have more, but you don't really need it. You don't really care about it. You wouldn't really have any purpose for it. You need to have a purpose for it. Whether it's buying a house, whether it's putting it in a saving account, whether it's paying your employees more, whether it's raising kids, whatever it is, have a reason for calling in more. Have a purpose for that money. That money wants to feel like it is important, just like your boyfriend wants to feel like he is important. Money wants to feel like it's important too. So if you do not have a positive reason for why you want more of your manifestations, why are they going to be attracted to you? They're not really going to be attracted to you, are they? So for those of you that maybe have been trying manifestation for a while, or you've been, doing all the journaling, listening to the podcast, whatever it is that you've been doing, amazing. If you are feeling like, okay, I know the basics, but I need more. Like, there's got to be more, because I'm getting things are getting complex now. Things are getting hard. I'm coming up with these blocks. Like, I'm doing all the things that I should be doing. I'm journaling, I'm visualizing, but it is not happening. If you are experiencing those things and you need another more intense layer of teachings behind manifestation, then you 100% want to join the Men and Money Bundle or Magic Money and Manifestation Level 2. Level 1 is those basics. Level 2 is things that I am teaching you unlike any other way, or with any other, unlike any other way of explaining, I don't know how to say it, way of like teaching in regards to manifestation. A lot of you that have done Level 2, you always say to me, the way in which I teach manifestation is so different, so easy to integrate, and it actually feels doable. I try not to make it too woo-woo or too adding 10 things to your to-do list. I actually try and make it really, really, really fucking easy, because this is my thing. You are born with an innate ability to have your words being your spells. So if your words are currently not your spells, there's something funky happening, right? Something with your energy, something with blocks, etc., something with beliefs, whatever. In MMM2, that the core is really about embodiment of manifestations. Because you can know all the fucking shit in the world, that's great, but are you embodying it? Are you actually living it out? That is the crux of Level 2. Now, the good thing about the Men and Money Bundle is, the thing with manifestation is you have to be able to receive. If you cannot receive your manifestations, they're not going to come in. Or maybe they'll come in this close and then you'll reject it because you don't know how to receive. So then you'll reject your manifestations and get frustrated with yourself of, why isn't it manifesting? Why isn't it happening? Well, bitch, you're rejecting it. Being a lover, not a mother is that other piece of manifestation, which is healing your relationship with men so that you can receive, so that you can let go and be in your feminine and do all of those really, really important pieces around you embodying your femininity and receptiveness and surrender, which are two key components when you are trying to manifest big fucking things, especially if you are wanting to manifest the love of your life, your person. That's a big thing to manifest. If you do not have level 2, and be loved on a mother, you need to join the Men and Money bundle, because those things combined are going to radically transform your ability to manifest with ease. All right. Do not forget, ladies, there are incredible meditations on my website pages, so many freebies, and my emails are the place to be. Oh, and don't forget, I have a YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel where the videos to the podcast are, but also I am now posting long form content of behind the scenes of things. Not in a full rhythm yet, but I'm going to get into one. I've posted one video already. Another one is coming very shortly about behind the scenes of our trip to Australia. So there are 3 videos upcoming. One about the behind the scenes of like traveling to Australia and that bit before the event. The second video is the behind the scenes of the event. And then the third video is kind of post event. And then I've got more coming up, what I do in a day, like cooking stuff, whatever. You guys have given recommendations. So I'm going to continue posting all those things because I am loving the long form content and not being restricted by an Instagram algorithm lately. So I'm going to leave the episode there. If you haven't left a review, I would really appreciate if you do so. It's a beautiful value exchange, and I love reading all of your written reviews.